Third phase.
Blake Cousins here at Third Phase of Moon. Friday night radio taking your calls from around the world. Wow. This week is another crazy week in submissions to us right here at Third Phase of Moon. And also reach out to people that have caught incredible things. Where do I start? Where do I start about this week while I was just off the cliffs looking for UFOs, 1,500-foot straight drop-off. Some people even say there was a UFO captured in the video while I was hiking. We're going to take a look at that and slow things down. Also, we're going to be inviting, I'm hoping she's here, about her incredible capture, Becky Dunning, of something so beautiful but so strange at the same time. We're going to get to her interview. This rainbow, dubbed CHEM-BOW. Some people call it the CHEM-BOW. I call it, you know what? I'll call it the CHEM-BOW too, because there's a lot of chems in the air. And what is causing this in the sky is quite amazing. She's here. And then we're going to be also sharing some new insight. Somebody just gave me a heads up. UFO channel said that In Focus UFOs just posted up a new video. Now he's just posted up photographs of his trip to Mars. That's right. That's what I just said. His trip to Mars, photographs from within the ship that Boss commands, and also other ships outside the Starcraft. Incredible photographs. I don't know what to say, but compelling to say the least. You know what? Let's get to the callers right now. And if you've got a UFO sighting you want to report tonight, this is what it's all about at Third Phase Moon. The number to call in is 347-934-0378. Let's bring in area code 618. Welcome to the show. This is Blake Cousins. Is this Becky?
This is Becky.
Hey, Becky. Becky Dunning. Hey, thanks for calling in to Third Phase.
No problem.
Hey, you know what? Before we get to your incredible photograph, and this is what I think about people that just go around taking people's stories and just running with it without even contacting the person or persons who've caught these incredible captures. Bonnie, I appreciate you giving me permission to share your photograph to the world.
Well, thank you.
Okay, Bonnie, where was let's get to the starting of this. Where was this actually captured and when?
It was captured last Thursday at Jewel Dunn's River Resort in Ocho Rios, Jamaica. We had just finished an excursion at Bob Marley's 9 Mile, and we came back to the resort, and the sun was still out, and I thought, okay, grab the swimsuits, get back down to the pool. So got back down to the pool, and as usually, the past couple of days, around 3 or 4, storm clouds moved in, little rain, and it was done. So the rain, or the clouds were coming from the sea and getting ready to cover up the sun. I thought, okay, great, gotta get out the sun. Just as it approached the sun, I looked up and I said, oh my God, look at the sun. And I always had my camera with me on vacation, carried like a purse. And
Sure.
I picked up my camera and I started taking pictures and pointing up at the sun. And by then, some of the other guests were looking up too. And I just kept snapping away. It was just awesome. I've never seen anything like it before in my life.
So there's more than one photograph of this event.
Yeah, I took 6.
Oh wow!
And the one I had on was the better one. I mean, they just dissipated as you. I mean, it was gone in a matter of a couple minutes.
So it didn't last long.
No, it didn't last long. But I did find out after we didn't get a drop of rain. So I went back up to the room, and our friends, we had a group of 10 with us. They said, "Did you see the rainbow?" There was, I think, one of the girls captured 3 rainbows. I have not seen that picture yet.
Did
you see the rainbows?
You captured this with your iPhone?
No, I have a Nikon Coolpix PS510.
Oh, I see. Gotcha. And does this shoot video at all as well?
Yes.
Did you, man? Oh, it only lasted a couple minutes. I'm sure you were going to pull out and start shooting video. Did you manage to capture any video?
No, I didn't. I just I was so amazed that I just
Yeah.
kept snapping pictures. I wish I would have thought about taking my continuous shot where I just kept continuously doing it, but I didn't because I've just never seen anything like it. And I was told the reason I didn't see anything like it is because I live in St. Louis area, and you only see those things in the tropics.
Well, you don't see that kind of rainbow. I lived in Hawaii. I've seen thousands of rainbows in my life. Just recently, a couple of weeks ago, I captured a strange one myself. It was a beam rainbow, I call it, and it was strange. So we posted it up and shared it. But while what you captured, I noticed that you shared it to the Weather Channel's Facebook, and they went ahead and shared your photograph, and the word got out. Did the Weather Channel ever get back to you and describe or tell you what this is?
They did. Yeah, and I had several people message me to get permission, but others just took it. But I guess once you put it out there, it's there to tape. But I just put it out there because I want to know what it was. Yes.
Well, what they told you, it was some kind of a phenomenon known as what would they call it? A fire rainbow?
Yeah, and I think the technical name was PLEUIS cloud. Yeah.
Well, they like to, experts want to come out and say, hey, look, we know what this is, but there's no really like-kind comparisons to the dramatic shot that you captured. Some people call it a CHEM-BOW, and, there's a lot of strange weather going around the world right now. We've received dozens of HAARP weather phenomenon. We don't know what it is. We're just putting it out there, letting people decide what's going on. We want to share it. And like you just said, people want to take and just still out there. And, there's a big problem with that. And I really appreciate, and this is what it's all about, is getting a permission from the people, the public, to share their evidence. Becky.
Well, if you look at it, it doesn't have the correct colors of the rainbow as we were taught in school. Roy G. Biv.
How would you
orange. What we were taught in school to remember the colors of the rainbow was Roy G. Biv. Red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, and violet. Well, if you look at the picture, it's not in that sequence.
Well, HAARP is a government operation that apparently has been shut down. And the experiment was to experiment with weather control, almost weaponize it in its own sense. Have you ever heard of HAARP until probably recently, now that you captured this?
Right. Yeah, I just did it last Thursday.
You know what? If you could get me those other photographs, I sure would like to share that in sequence. But apparently this is the best one that you got. And, the world's already responding. We posted it up just a little bit ago. And, there's a lot of comments so far. And don't worry about some of the hate out there and saying that this is some kind of – some people are saying right now that this is some kind of painting. Did you paint this?
Oh. Yeah, sure.
Exactly.
Nope.
You know what? There it is, people. That's Becky Dunning. I really want to thank you for joining us right here at Third Phase of Moon. And you should check out the comments tomorrow when he posts this up on Third Phase and definitely reply to some of these clowns calling you an artist.
Yeah, I'll send you the rest of them, too.
Absolutely appreciate it. We'll be keeping an eye out for that. That was Becky Dunning sharing incredible evidence to us right here at Third Phase Moon. The world is waking up. The world knows that we're not alone. This is Blake Cousins Friday Night Radio. Guess what? We're going to be taking phone calls from around the world in regards to this UFO phenomenon. It's going to be fun. That's right. Third Phase of Moon back live, taking callers from around the world. Live, raw, just the way we like it. Real people, real stories. You just heard it, along with evidence. That's pretty mind-blowing and godlike, in my opinion. Let's get to the next caller. And we're going to get to all the callers tonight. So just stand by. We're going to get to the next caller calling in from 540. You're live, Third Phase Moon. Welcome to the show.
Hello.
Hello.
Yeah, this is Kimberly Cash, and I had
Kimberly
posted...
Cash. 1 second.
Kimberly Cash.
Kimberly Cash made contact to Third Phase of Moon a week ago. we shared her video just recently while we're on the cliffs looking over Waipio Valley and lights in the sky. We invited Kimberly to join us on the radio because we wanted to get her testimony of what she shot, more collaboration with the public. Kimberly, hey, thanks for joining us right here at Third Phase.
Oh, thank you. I am psyched because I didn't just I caught the two same objects. It's right before, it's still dark, and then one right as it's turning light, and there's no doubt about it. I'm not the only one that's seeing it. My neighbor's seen it. They didn't want to tell a lot of people, but there's other people that have seen it, and it's crazy. And no, we're not alone. I've always known this, but getting a proof is just the best thing about it. Like I said, I'm psyched about it. I've known, but it's just seeing is believing. It's crazy, yeah. I'm telling you.
Well, when you capture something for the first time, and you're always wondering if we're alone or not, and then you capture it yourself, and then you get to share it like you're doing right now and talking about it, this is about as good gets. Tell me, where was this captured, this video?
It was captured right in front of my house. I was going outside, like I said, I'd say it was like 6:55 a.m. My daughter says more precise at like 7:02. Anyway, I was going outside to start up my car, and I know the moon had been particularly beautiful that night, right? So I took out my phone. I was going to take pictures because I'm just an avid picture taker. You know, I'm getting faces in the sky, all kinds of stuff. And I seen these strange lights.
Kim, exactly where in the United States?
I'm in Buena Vista, Virginia. We're 6 miles, a little east of VMI, Virginia Military Institute.
Oh, so there's a military base close by,
Oh, yes. So I was just wondering, oh, my God, what is this? I know this is not them. Definitely not. This is not anything we have. This is a different kind of, it's just not of this world. It's not of this world.
Kimberly, what you captured, they seem almost angelic. They're shimmering in the air. They're obviously, I don't think, balloons by any means. They're not drones. What do you think they were? Was it electric? Was there a solid craft to it?
Now, when I looked at the very first one, taking the video of it, it looked like, me seeing it with my own eyes, it was orbish. It was orbish. I don't think it was a craft. It was an orb. Both of them were orbs. And it's like the first one was being parallel. The first one was tractor beaming. The second one, they're perfectly aligned. And if you enhance the video, you can see the very first one it's flashing out colors. You know, I didn't try to edit it. I didn't try to edit it because I wanted it untouched where you could see it, you know.
What about the other guys, the other people on the ground that witnessed this? What was their
my daughter, she's 8 years old. When she come out, she said, "Oh my God, Mom!" She said, "It's a spacecraft." She said, "This is alien in nature. This is not us." That's the exact word she used. And the other people I talked to, they think it's more of an interdimensional being, if you will, and that it's showing signs of Jesus coming. Wow. I don't know about this. I just know that it's not us.
It's something that we can't explain. It's an unidentified flying object. You captured something, and we're allowing the people in the world to decide for themselves what it is. And Kimberly Cash has, when people come out and want to share their stuff, I got to give them a lot of kudos because it takes a lot of bravery to come forward, like Kimberly is just doing right now, and like Bonnie's just done right before, sharing this evidence. Kimberly, is your daughter there by any chance?
Yes, she is. She just went downstairs, but she knows all about everything. And you know what? You were talking about something about we're talking about CERN and all this. I believe they've already reached their initial goal in opening up other dimensions. I believe they've reached that goal. I believe it's just us that are just waking up to this. I've seen it. Too many people around us have seen it. We're just not saying anything because we're too scared. We're scared of ridicule, people backlashing with talk, saying stuff to other people. Like when I told you, I said some people think that people are paranoid schizophrenia, It's just true. Everybody needs to know. I believe it's true, and like you said, it is. You know, it's just not enough of us. But the more that get out there, the more people will know. As you can tell, I'm excited now because we've been seeing things. I mean, my neighbors have seen stuff in the sky just last night.
Well, you know what, Kimberly? You've found third phase of moon, so you capture something. We're not going anywhere. You've got our contact info, and we'll always reply back, unlike
oh my
other
God,
agencies
thank you. It was
out
so
there.
great.
Okay?
I didn't know what when you called me, it was like a birthday present. You just wouldn't believe it.
Thank you, Kimberly. You're what we're looking for. People like you around the world with a steady hand and a good eye and an open mind. Interdimensional being, maybe, but whatever it is, it's something that I think we should share. Kimberly, hey, thanks for joining us right here at Third Phase, and be sure to keep in touch.
All right, sure will, and thank you very much for having me.
Wow, appreciate it. These interviews that come through, people got to work hard to do this. So appreciate it, people. Appreciate it big time because, it's not easy doing what's going on right here. It's the world right now, a world collaboration. That's what I like. Now we're going to bring in another caller, and we're going to get to all the calls tonight, like I said. Let's bring in area code 763. You're live to Third Phase of Moon. Welcome to the show.
Hey, how you doing? Great.
Hey,
am I talking to Blake?
Yep, this is Blake Cousins. You're talking to him.
Hey, Blake. Yeah, so nice to meet you on the phone. I've been following your videos for a long time. I believe I've been an abduction victim since early childhood. I don't
really?
have any of the details like Jesse was, but I filled out. I actually met Jesse 3 years ago at a local Minnesota MUFON meeting.
Okay,
and
let's.
But after filling out the MUFON questionnaire, it brought up questions about childhood and like about things in the closet, and like I had lots of things in the closet. In fact, I woke up our entire apartment.
Okay. Oh, sorry that I had we just got to back it up a little bit before we go any further. One second. I just want you to explain to the audience because some people might not know who Jesse is, and they've just come to the show. They've just come to Third Phase.
The incredible story of the 14-year-old boy who killed the alien. I actually met him, and he told the same story 3 years ago in front of us that he told the Third Phase of Moon listeners and viewers. And the only thing that was different is he just left out some of the personal details of like what happened to his friends. He was like keeping it all on himself, and it had a pretty profound effect on me. But the thing is, I have been like immersed in the UFO subject, intensively for the last 3 years, and some of the stuff that Jesse, said he felt like, even though it was horrifying and it was absolutely painful, he felt nothing but absolute love for these beings, and that, after having read some work from other people, the way they can, put screen memories in and screen emotions in, it's like even if you do have like some kind of positive feeling, even after having gone through, what seems like torture, it's, I don't know, it doesn't bode well to me, it's kind of scary, and that's kind of one thing that's kept me from wanting to try hypnotherapy and try to, figure out some of my past experiences. Because, like I say, the childhood stuff, with the closets, I hadn't even thought about that in decades. I didn't even remember about any of that till I was asked that question on the MUFON questionnaire. And also it asked about out-of-body experiences and light orbs. And I've had an out-of-body experience involving a light orb. And the UFO I saw when I was 14, it involved a grouping of 3 white orbs and 3 red orbs. And I thought it was an airplane, like a small aircraft with bright landing lights. And when it got closer, it was like just a couple, 300-400 feet off the ground, and it was totally silent, and I got really excited, and I waved at it. And then it stopped, and then I got really scared, and I brought my hand down, oops, maybe that's not such a good idea. Then there was another grouping of orbs.
I
haven't seen anything like that except for on some of your videos now. I'm seeing like red and white orbs that remind me of what I saw when I was 14. It's, I kind of I apologize for the rambling nature of this, but I don't know.
Well,
this kind of thing has just affected my life in such a way that
you've got a lot to say. Yep.
I got to let it out,
Yeah, this is, I think, where you're coming from. You've had an experience. Do you want to go and delve down the road to try and recall this memory that you have embedded in your brain? Possibly. And now you're hearing Jesse's story of all these, terrible things that they've done to him. Do you really want to go down this road? And then seeing this stuff come to that other people around the world are capturing exactly what you saw, I'm sure it gets a little overwhelming. Let me ask you this: do you think that this Jesse? We've had him on the show twice, and he might be calling in tonight. He said I invited him back to share another story. Do you think his story is legit? You've met him in person?
Yeah, I do. He's a formidable guy. He's pretty stocky. He's not real tall, but he's stocky. I mean, if you were to come up against some hostile people, you'd want this guy on your side, right?
Nice.
And, I don't know the man. I only met him once, that one day. But
okay.
The one detail, one thing that he and I have in common is he had an abusive childhood, and actually the thing he revealed to us that he did not, and maybe I shouldn't, I don't know, I feel bad, but he revealed that he was actually homeless at the time, and that's why they were in a tent. They weren't camping. They were homeless children, and I had a horrible physically and emotionally abusive childhood as well. I mean, I was never homeless and never lived in a tent like Jesse did, but I don't know if there's some correlation with that. If it's a cause and effect, or if it's do abused people attract these things to you? I don't know.
Well, that's describing Jesse is something that I would have the furthest from what I pictured him, actually. So that's interesting. I'm hoping Jesse does call in, and then we're going to be hopefully getting to some more disclosure in regards to some of his close encounters. You know what? Stand by. There's a little bit of static there. We got a lot of callers in. We're going to try to get to everybody. So I think we're going to get to area code 319 next, then 651. Just after that, there's a lot of others. Everybody stand by. This is Blake Cousins, Third Phase of Moon Live Radio, taking your calls from around the world. Doesn't get much more better than this. That's right, Third Phase of Moon back on air, taking calls from around the world in regards to this phenomenon known as extraterrestrial alien visitation happening, I believe, right now. People are capturing them on video. People are experiencing them very, very up close. Governments from around the world are harnessing their tech and using it for their purposes, whatever that may be. I'm not exactly sure, but we might find out one of these days. Let's get area code 319. Area code, welcome to the show. You're live, Third Phase.
Hi, Blake. Thanks. This is Peter. I called about 2 weeks ago to tell you about my YouTube channel, Enigma Seeker, that investigates about unidentified strange noises.
Sure.
I just want to tell you my UFO experience and what that kind of got me into, learning about UFOs. So,
you've had a UFO experience?
Oh yeah, a couple times. They're nothing, big, but the first one was in 2008 over the flood, when Cedar Rapids had a big flood. It flooded downtown, and that was appearing, and I saw it probably 3 times, but it was kind of always in the distance. It was a pulsating orb of light, appears on, off for about an hour around my house.
What are these orbs? What are these orbs made out of? Interdimensional beings? Electrostatic electricity?
One of your callers, I think the lady said that she thought they were the orbs of light. I really think, according to what MUFON, the people I talked to, they think it's some kind of plasma ball of energy, electromagnetic energy. It has the ability to fuse, split, morph, change color, and pulsate. It's made of some kind of metallic, liquid-like substance. That's what I'm hearing from some of the MUFON investigators that I know of. But they don't want to come out publicly and say that because they don't physically have evidence. But they do have a lot of video evidence, and they say like 90% of the time, just to be conservative, it's always an orb of light or some kind of liquid-like metallic substance like that. People say it looks like a saucer. But
you're meaning, hold on a second, Peter. You're saying that MUFON doesn't have any evidence of this stuff? They haven't been watching Third Phase of Moon too much, haven't they? How many orbs?
Evidence.
Huh?
Physical, of course, because UFOs are not going to give us that evidence. They don't want us to have that. I mean, it's some kind of, I think what your last caller was saying, I really do believe it's something far more supernatural or like interdimensional beings or extra-dimensional beings. There's different levels of that, and it gets pretty complicated. It's not like the high level of supernatural in the sense of a poltergeist. It's not that kind of supernatural, but it's some level. So a poltergeist, you have to summon it, and it comes to you, and it messes up your life. But for UFO, it comes to you. I mean, there's a difference.
Were you? Did you get to see the latest episode we put up on Third Phase? Maybe not the latest. We get a lot of videos coming in a little bit behind times. Our recent episode of a submission of a lightning storm and some, orb.
Yeah.
It looked like this to me.
I saw that. Yeah.
This seems to me that there's a reasoning behind this, something that is a design, not some random plasmic phenomenon, but intelligent design. And,
it's intelligent.
They're trying to hard.
I believe it's definitely intelligent, but I don't think either the orbs themselves are the individual beings, but they have the ability to fuse. And I've seen a lot of videos that show these UFOs split and they come together. So it doesn't fit the characteristics of something biological in nature or something solid. So unless it's being controlled by something biological that's not on Earth, but like a probe, you could kind of say, but I don't want to use the term probe because it kind of associates to something structural. But this phenomenon, according to what MUFON says, it does show this consistent characteristic of a ball of light made of high electromagnetic energy that can appear and disappear, fuse and split, cause loud roaring noises in the middle of the night, and that's what I'm investigating for them called USNs. It really started popping up in 2011. But let me just tell you my UFO story. I'll just try to keep it under 5 minutes. So pretty much in this year over near 4th of July, we started hearing these loud bangs around our house. We thought it was a neighbor. We kind of live in a wooded area. It was at night around 9:30, and the first night it was our neighbor shooting off a shotgun. And then the second night, we heard a few of the cannons going off, doing a little Civil War reenactment of all places in Iowa. It's kind of strange. But then the third night, we heard a loud bang again, but this time it was more consistent. And I called my neighbor up again. He said, no, this time it's not me. I'm at work. And my other neighbor said, yeah, they're hearing it too. And it sounded like we could hear there were also distant fireworks. So I just kept trying to record the sound and called it a couple times. And then after about an hour just waiting, all of a sudden on my porch when I was just sitting outside at night, behind me, there's a red orb. I mean, it was like over the treetops, I would say 200 feet away. It was probably the size of a car. And it wasn't pulsating. It was just bright red, like you could see it reflecting off the treetops. And then 2 weeks later, I didn't really tell my family.
Did it make any sound?
Mm-hmm.
Did it make any sound whatsoever? You sure it wasn't a Chinese lantern?
I don't know if it gave me a hint now, but it didn't make any sound. But before that, I kept hearing these loud bangs that sound like shotguns next to our house. It happened like every 30 minutes or so. And I thought it was my neighbor. I'm like, who's shooting off a shotgun next to our house at 10:30 at night? I mean, it was a little strange. And then 2 weeks later, I was at work coming back, and then my sister comes to me. I didn't even tell her about my first experience. She said, have you been seeing like an orb of light? I said, well, yeah. And then she said, well, I saw something shining a bright light in our house when she was in the living room. It was kind of dark, with the lights off and watching TV, and she assumed it was the microwave light or something. So she went there to try to see if there was something to shut off, and there was nothing there, of course. And she went back to the window. Then she said she could see this bright orb thing, the size of a car, moving in like almost eye level through the trees. She thought maybe about 200 feet away. And then the orb just kind of floated away slowly. And I'm guessing it was the same one. Then the next night she says to me again, I saw something else. And this time it streaked by the window, but it was smaller. It was more white, she said, but it was pretty fast and streaked by. But I was sitting on the porch to see if I could see the same thing, but I didn't see it. And so we called MUFON, someone I know from Des Moines. He came up, and then we did a report and told him about it. And
MUFON. Come on, what are you doing? Anyway, go ahead.
I have to give, they're the only place that has a database to really collect this information. So then so I decided to try something. I got a flashlight and went on my other porch facing on the south side, and I just shined my flashlight up, flickered a couple times, didn't get anything, no response, and waited about an hour, did it a couple times, and then finally I got a white light flash. And that really creeped me out. I'm like, wait a minute, is that static buildup? So then I tried it again, didn't respond, and tried a couple times, then it responded again. And then I responded, another time it responded again and kept on responding. I'm like, oh, wow. And then this time it flashed quite bright to the point where you could see it reflecting off the treetops. So it wasn't static buildup, but it was very low. So that at that point, I'm like, okay, I'm going to stop doing this because now I know for sure that this UFO thing is invisible, but it's hanging around my house. And now just a couple of days ago, my sister emails me and says, we've been hearing this loud roaring noise over our house at 3 a.m. in the morning. It only lasts for like a minute. She said that she was in her room studying with her headphones on, and she heard this noise, and she thought it was just a plane. And my mom said that she heard it a different night, and she just assumed it was a plane too. So we're kind of keeping an eye on to see if this happens again, and told them to try and see if they can get on camera, try to capture it, write down the time, record, and all that, because I think it's giving me some hints. I don't know, but that's where I'm at right now, and I'm gonna hopefully I can try to capture the noise if it lets me.
I got you. All right, Enigma Seeker sharing and doing a lot of research, and I like that, and that's what's good about this YouTube world and the people researching on their own.
Camo.
What was that?
You really help us get this information out, so I really appreciate that. So for any of your viewers, if you guys are hearing any loud, mysterious booms or roaring noises in the middle of the night, or loud siren noises, anything unusual that seems to stand out, check out my channel, and I'll try to document it and see what's going on.
You know what I like about Enigma Seeker? Is he kind of reminds me of Third Phase, because when I see strange noises coming up and these videos that random people are posting up, I see that you ask the people, where was it? Who shot this? You want to collaborate. You want to make that. You want to get the evidence. You do your research. Enigma Seeker, check his YouTube channel out. Keep up the good work, man.
Okay, thank you.
All right. We got a few minutes left, and we got callers coming into Third Phase, so we want to get to everybody. So we're going to skip the commercial. We're going to get to it right now. Let's get to area code 763. You're live, Third Phase Moon. Thanks for waiting.
Hey, it's me again. It's Charlie.
Charlie.
So, that's my name. But anyway, I don't really know where we left off or what point we were trying to tie in, but I've always looked for UFOs in the sky.
Hold on a sec, Charlie. I'm not exactly sure where we're going with that, but I want to get to, we might get back to Charlie. Before we do that, we're going to get to area code 717. You're live, Third Phase Moon. Welcome to the show. 717 there? Hello, yes.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you. Where are you calling from?
I'm calling from PA.
From Pennsylvania. How's it going out there?
It's doing good. Okay, so
You got a UFO sighting you want to report tonight?
No. I just want to ask and tell you some stuff that I think of.
Sure.
And okay, so I just turned 15 and I just hurt my neck, so I might sound a little funny. But okay,
how'd you hurt yourself?
Well, I was playing football with my friends at school, and I tripped and fell. But
you tripped and fell? Okay.
Yeah,
let's move along. Yep. Okay.
Okay, so that one kid who was just talking about the orbs, I was starting to think, what if the UFOs are like teleporting to different areas and they create like energy in a different area? And
wow, good question.
That's what I was thinking. And then I found your channel by accident because me and my cousins would watch like scary videos before we would go to bed. And I found your channel, and then I was like, man, this is pretty interesting. So I started watching it over time, and I liked it. But I heard the story about that one guy named Jesse that was abducted.
Yep. People have been talking about Jesse's abduction story. It's been seen over 250,000 times just on our third phase of the moon. His story's fresh, it's new, it's out. And what do you think? What got to you?
Well, I kind of like the stories and stuff. But if he ever comes back on, can you ask him like what he's seen inside the UFO and what was in like the tubes and stuff? Because he said he's seen like creatures in tubes and stuff and other stuff. If you ever get a chance to talk to him.
Well, you know, we're hoping he comes back on the radio show, and he might even join us tonight. And I'm going to make a quick reference to a phone number here, and maybe it might be him. Let's see. Let's go to area code 618. You're live, third phase moon. Is this Jesse? 618?
Hello?
Nope. Hello. Yep, you're third phase moon, live.
Say something so I know you're talking to me.
Area code 618. You're live, third phase moon. Welcome to the show.
How are you doing tonight? My name is Vril Elf. I used to be part of the Unity group out of Chicago. I kind of wanted to touch base with you guys because you guys have been doing some awesome work. I really appreciate your travels and stuff like that as well.
Okay, thanks.
I wanted to touch base because, gentlemen in PA, there's been a lot of activity in PA. Have you ever heard of a lady by the name of Krause that goes by the name of Seeing UFOs in PA?
Yeah, absolutely. Allison Krause, for sure. We've been following her channel since the beginning. A lot of
I don't know how extensive that you guys have talked, but I have given her a suggestion. One of the biggest problems that she's had is for whatever reason, these things have caused power outages and stuff like that in her neighborhood, and I suggested putting up a feeding station based on a electric fence to see if they would be attracted to that across two antennas away from her house and away from her power. I don't know if she has done that. I haven't had contact with her recently. But one of the things that is going on there that is really, really exciting as far as the community is concerned is the collection of orbs that she has gotten. But as a researcher, I want you to let you know, if you have seen her footage, there's one that I believe it's her daughter that exclaims, "Ooh, look, cool, it's a search beam." And it actually shows a UFO doing work, and that is a very rare thing. A lot of people have been looking for communication in the radio bands and stuff like that, never realizing the fact that these things are not communicating in radio waves. They're actually using light in order to communicate. And I am currently in North Dakota, and just recently I've had a series of sightings. They're called fast walkers by the Indians up here. They're extremely high flying. They are definitely 25 to 30 miles away because of the speed they're going. They might go from horizon to horizon in less than a minute. Their brilliance is on a range of 1 to 10, North Star being 10. Their brilliance is maybe a 3 or 4, just nice and visible, but you actually have to look for it. You can't look for it directly with your eye. About a week and a half ago, I just so happened to have a laser pointer, and I was trying to show somebody one that was moving, and when I hit it with the laser pointer, it answered back. And it wasn't the first time one of these things answered back, but it was the first time that it answered back in front of a witness. And I thought you guys might consider that, because these things are not communicating with radio waves. Let's face it, they're using a radio or electromagnetic propulsion, and they're generating so much of it, a small radio wave is not going to get back to them. But if you use light wave, like this kid is signaling with a flashlight, you will get an answer from them.
Well, you know, it's interesting that you mentioned that, because one of my first encounters was with my dad on a road off the beaten path on Oahu, the North Shore, in probably around 1977. And it was dark, and we went up this road. And my dad wanted to chase these lights out there. And then all of a sudden he started to flash it with his headlights and bring up his high beams. And there's no street lights around. We're in the middle of nowhere, pitch dark. So as a young boy, along with my brother there, we're kind of freaking out. And we're thinking that aliens were going to like start to get us right there, come behind us, and maybe military. We don't know. We just knew maybe this isn't a good idea. Maybe it's a bad idea, but we're just kids at the moment.
More.
Yeah, actually, Dad was a good idea. Dad, good job trying to do that. We later grew up. You know what I mean? But, this Allison Cruz seeing UFOs is an interesting channel, and she's captured a lot of stuff. And what I like about her is she started out seeing these things and not knowing what they were, and then she later investigated, stepped up on equipment, brought in people to see what she was seeing. So it's an incredible story, and hopefully she continues doing what she does. Appreciate joining the show. We got to get some other callers.
Well, there's one last thing I'd like to drop on you.
Absolutely.
You have covered the draconians and stuff like that, and perhaps you have me on another day. But I do have some very, very old Sumerian stories that I've been able to correlate with other stories, such as the Aztecs and stuff like that, in order to actually get a base history on what other people are speculating on that is actually based in these original stories that are parallel but never been connected. Example that the Greys are subservient of the Draconians, et cetera, so forth. Some of the names and stuff like that are not solidified within that story, but I was able to develop this story being an information coordinator for the Unity Group, which was a private think tank out of Chicago down to Springfield. So anything that was requested and stuff like that actually came to me and then went to the investigator investigating a specific subject. So the broadbandness of what I would be clearing, none of the other investigators had, and it gave me a very unique perspective from electrogravitics on. Anything that actually crossed my desk was, collected at that location, whereas everyone else had their own compartmental that they had an interest in. And being private, there was no control features and stuff like that, so we were able to freely talk about the things that we were able to find. That was extremely active in the late 80s, early 90s, and then revived again right after 9/11. But currently there's only 3 or 4 of those members left, and the information we are trying to disseminate and get out there. For those of you that have not had a sighting, and I've noticed you've had a couple people on your site that are frustrated because they can't find anything to look at. I guarantee you have actually seen these things, because if you look for a flash while you're night driving, and it'll be something so quick that you're not exactly sure that you've seen it. If you turn your head in the direction of travel, that you had seen that travel, you will see it again, because what it's doing is it's coming across the landscape about 100 feet high. It'll flash and then turn off again, and you have to turn your head quickly in order to see it come back on. And the only way in order to confirm it is to see it come back on. Night driving, my parents showed me these things when I was 8 years old, and it is very rare if I spend any more than about 2 hours driving that I won't find or see one of those. And it's a terrific way for somebody to actually realize that there is something out there that is really moving fast. Just by my let you know.
That's all you have to do, people, is have the mind to look around, be aware of your surroundings. You'll see them. Just keeping an open eye. And frustration, I can understand that. Sometimes you can't always see a UFO every day, but if you keep it up, you will see something. You keep in touch. Get in touch with us on Skype. Third Phase
you guys, we'll work on your document. Be able to see IFOs all day long. It'll be ours.
Absolutely, and let's get together and collaborate. Contact us via Skype, Third Phase Moon, so we could maybe make a documentary on these findings about the Sumerian text, okay?
Well, I'd appreciate you getting in contact with me. I'll leave you an email.
We'll be looking for that. This is more collaboration around the world, getting the word out that we're not alone. Ancient alien visitation over 250,000 years ago changed what mankind used to be. Something happened. Something happened, and the world changed real fast. What happened is what we're listening to right now. Evolution of Man, live on air. You know what? I'm going to make a cold call here. Go to an unlisted number and see what happens. You're live, Third Phase Moon. Welcome to the show. You there? Hello? You're live, Third Phase Moon. I hear a little bit of feedback. Speak up. You're going to get knocked off. Going once, going twice. He's trying to say something. He's gone. Or she. Let's get to another caller. Area code 405.
Hey, Blake, what's going on?
Hey, doing pretty good tonight. Lots of stuff. Good show, man. What?
Yeah, good show. Just a couple weeks ago, Blake, you had a debate with a guy, Robert, I think his name was, who produced a lot of alien documentaries, including the Alien Autopsy for Fox back in the 90s, yeah. I think it was.
Yes. Viscerat, I think was his name. And I have his contact information in regards to the alien autopsy. Should we follow up on that, or is that old news? What's your opinion?
Well, I remember about a year ago or so, I can't remember, but I watched a documentary about these two guys supposedly have the real deal alien autopsy footage, and yet they spent like an hour or so saying, oh, it was degraded, so we had to scan it by computers to digitally restore it, and we showed it to the governments around the world. And by the time the footage came, I thought it looked like crap. And I've seen better, footage from the 50s on YouTube than this. I mean, I've seen the so-called KGB or Russian intelligence, what you want to call it, alien footage of live aliens better than that. I mean, I really think that the so-called alien autopsy that we know of has to be fake, and I'm not 100% sure, but that's where my judgment is going. Because if a forensic expert says, oh, a body doesn't do that, there should be more blood, or I don't know what an alien liver looks like. I mean, and if a special effects, I think, wow, that's a good dummy they're dissecting. It makes me think these guys are just hungry for entertainment.
Well, this is what I got to say about this. I do believe, and I put out $1 million reward, or cash offer. We'll pay cash if we can get the original alien autopsy footage, not the one that's been broadcast on Fox, because I think that's not the legitimate. We all know that's not the real deal, but apparently it's based on the real deal. And there's that footage that does exist, and who holds that? Who's holding it in an art collection on the black market, underground, big time? We'll pay $1 million if anybody wants to sell it.
Yeah, but $1 million seems a lot of money. I mean, I'm not for sure. If I had a bike, I think, yeah, I'll show you the footage, and then we'll exchange the money. But to be honest, I don't have the footage, and honestly, will probably kill me one of these days, and I hope it does. But these hoaxers who fake, saying, oh, this is a real footage of people being a whole family being abducted by aliens, and it turns out to be a group of actors just acting. To me, that just sickens me. What you did with Hangar 52 really makes me have hope for people like you who express your love for the, interest.
Hey, we tried, man. Hangar 52 was an adventure. And for some odd reason, I guess people didn't get what we were trying to share. People's stories put into a theatrical sense. We had a lot of fun, and the true subscriber fan base, they loved it. And we'd love to do Hangar 52, base it on even more knowledge that has come in, and blow it up. But Hangar 52 is the last of the series, unfortunately. But you know what? I like this. You know what people want to watch and what they want to hear is people like you, people that have submitted videos just in this radio show alone. We've spoken to people that are sharing footage, and we got to thank them again. It's amazing.
Yeah, but the only thing I had a problem with Hangar 52 was, there was some audio issues, and the dialogue was kind of cheesy at times. But as long as you had fun making it, then my hats off to you, sir, and I hope you make another film like Hangar 52, but make it like, I don't know, Demons versus Aliens or something like that. I mean, that's a perfect idea I always have.
Well, you know what? The criticism on Hangar 52 was very humbling, and I think they appreciated Brent's camera work and the lighting and the tech. But when it came down to script and it came down to Blake Cousins' acting, he wasn't too good, that dude. All right? So, that's the way it went. But,
I've seen a lot of indie movies that had worse scripts than that, Blake. So you're not the only one who made a bad, decision on the script. So I just want to say it wasn't the worst thing I've seen.
It wasn't the worst. I could guarantee you that. That's for sure. Hey, you know what? That's a great call. Hey, thanks for making it fun at the end, man.
All right, bye.
All right, this is Third Phase of Moon. You know what? Everybody, remember, it's a brand new time. Daylight savings has kicked in, unfortunately, I guess, for whomever you may be. If you got to wake up earlier, well, that's just the way it goes. That's the way the world turns. The new time to call in and join our radio show for next week, Friday. If you're in New York, it's 11 p.m. If you're in the Midwest, it's, Chicago time is 10 p.m. Let's make it easy. If you're in Los Angeles, it's 9 p.m. If you're in Hawaii, excuse me, now I'm getting used to my own schedule. So here we go again. If you're in New York, it starts at 11 p.m. If you're in Los Angeles, it's 8 p.m. Hawaii time, 6 p.m. Like always. You know what? This has been an exciting show. Everybody's credits will be below to check out the sources for the videos that have come in the way people should do it. Simple investigation, simple collaboration. Come on, people. Quit taking people's stuff and just acting like you're a ufologist. You're not. You're nothing. You're just a hack. All right? I'm calling people out there hacks. If they don't share information, talk to the source and get permission to share it. Wow, people. It's very simple. Everybody keep your eyes on the skies, and if you've captured anything amazing, we'll share your credit, your name, share it to the world. This is Blake Cousins. You know what? We're not alone. We'll see you again next time.
Object. unidentified object.